And we are live. Welcome back to Pistons Jack Fan Reacts, where we're going to chat through a pretty frustrating, but what I think is a pretty encouraging performance from our Detroit Pistons. I have my man Tommy Hurd joining in just a moment, and then we'll have Prince joining us again. Before we go to my man Mark, who is in Australia, out in WA. And then potentially, I'm waiting for a response from my man Devon. So we've got 4 people lined up, excited to chat through this game. I suspect there's going to be a bit of chat about the officials, some chat about Kate Cunningham, some chat about SGA, plenty of storylines. Just my quick thoughts on the game before I bring up Tom. Honestly, today, I wanted the win. I thought the Pistons were going to win, to be honest. This game kind of played out how I thought it would. I just thought the Pistons would win by 6 instead of losing by 6. But, to see them after kind of losing their cool there, which I think the referees were horrible towards the end of that third. But, the Pistons, Cade lost his cool, JB lost his cool. To see them rally, though, and come back in the fourth without Cade, I think was really encouraging. And I think no matter what, we all want the win. We all want to get that 4 seed, that 5 seed. I get that. But to see these guys against an extremely good Oklahoma City Thunder team come back, get within at least one a couple of times. And honestly, I feel like I know Cade was struggling, but if they maybe had him out there in the last 3 minutes, maybe they close it, maybe they win. They just probably lacked the shot creation towards the end there. Maybe a questionable decision taking out Asar in the last 2 minutes. But, I mean, to be honest, it's hard. I know the referees are very frustrating. I get anyone that's going to talk about that. We certainly will here. Hard not to be encouraged by that, though. I know that they lose tonight, and now that loss against the Wizards hurts extra, but let's be real. This OKC team, I know they didn't have Chet. I know they didn't have J-Jub, but they are deep. They are extremely skilled. They hustle. Like, I was very impressed by them, and I'm proud of our boys. But I'm going to bring up Tom now, and excited to chat with my man Tom here. Tom, what's going on, brother?
Hi Jack, hi everyone. Hi, what up, though?
First of all, we're just going to shout out that backdrop and that Pistons merch. Tom has come. He's cooking. Is that a new
You see
jumper?
that?
I feel like I'm
No,
the All-Star jersey. Let's.
yeah, the All-Star jersey. Like I have two of them because of like a logistical issue by the team and stuff, I think. So one I wore
Wow.
yesterday during my basketball game, and one I'm just leaving it out there. So yeah.
That's incredible. I'm very happy you got that in the end because I know there was a few issues there.
Yes.
But Tom, man, plenty of love for you in the chat as always. But initial takeaways on that game.
Uh, anyways, all right, let's get the good. I'll say the good things first. Like, um, I was so proud of the Pistons for showing out how they did after like when the text happened and everything. We were down by I believe double digits, but we you could see you could visibly see the frustration on the Pistons, and they were playing really hard after that. After the whole referee incident. And they were really physical. Malik made some great shots. Asar was incredible in the defensive end. He was locking everybody up. And Tim also made a clutch three. I thought we had a chance, but we SGA was just too good in the end. But I'm really proud of the team. And with that said, and we're going to have this conversation, but Brian Forte, that man was. I'm sorry, excuse my French, but fuck. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I
You're good.
usually don't swear, but um, what I believe what happened was um, so they lined up Jalen Williams for two free throws um after the loose ball foul on Stewart, I think.
Yeah.
But the referee gave it the
Can,
ball without the Pistons lined up. So Kate points him out, like these are two free throws. You should give the ball after we get lined up. And he gives Kate a technical after that. and the Pistons received another technical, I think, in the middle of it, and and the Cade just received another technical for just voicing out his frustration again. That was just ridiculous. What do you think? Like,
So I
what do you
was very confused because I think I had slightly rewinded my league pass because I was still disgusted at the fact that they were reviewing Stu's that foul for a hostile
exactly?
act. So I kind of missed what happened. So when I fast forward it back to live, I was like, wait, why is there no one lining up? Where was this technical? And I was like, wait,
Mhm.
surely they didn't call Stu for a flagrant. And then I slowly pieced it together, and that's why Cade kept being like, line us up, or whatever you're saying.
Exactly, yes.
Um, so very confusing, and I think Cade was being kind of aggressive in the way he was saying it, but he was correct. So if you're the referee, it's
Yes.
like, yeah, Cade's been a little rude, but you're also made a mistake, so you got to wear that. So to call him for a tech on that was frustrating as, and then yeah, I kind of felt like Cade was going to get that second. I'm not going to lie, disappointing. I just want to shout out the LCA crowd as well. Those refs suck chants.
Yes.
Sometimes, because Tom, you've been to
That's
the
so
arena.
loud. Uh-huh.
Sometimes it doesn't do it justice on the TV or broadcast how loud it is there. It was so loud on my stream that I was like, it must
Yeah.
be deafening in there. So shout out to LCA crowd. I was super frustrated, but I will be honest, Cade was he just didn't have it tonight. I think like
Yeah.
Dort was handling him well. OKC defended him well. But he shouldn't have been ejected because that first tech was bullshit. That like I said, that's my take. I knew he was going to get that second one, but that first one was bullshit, and I think that's why everyone was so frustrated. Fans, coaches, everyone.
Right, right. Oh man. Did you see the JB post-game interview?
No, so I missed that all. So can you, for those that missed it, including myself, just quickly summarize it?
Okay. So first, when JB goes on stage, he's visibly frustrated. But the first question, I believe, was they just asked him, what did you tell your players after a frustrating game like this? So the question was like about what he told the players, right? He doesn't even answer that. He just goes, the first sentence he opens up with is like, um, I am so disgusted by how this game was officiated tonight. And he goes on a like 3-minute rant about like how
Holy
bad
shit.
the referees were. He slams in the table like 5 times, and he crumples
Oh
the
my God.
paper like I believe it's a stat sheet, whatever. He crumples it, throws it up, throws it out on the table, and he just walks away. And
Oh
that
my
is a
God.
massive, yeah, that's a massive, massive fine coming. But I love it. He's our coach. I
That's
just loved it.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Holy
loved it from
shit.
JB. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
you
gonna
should
have to
watch
watch
it.
this after.
Someone
I'm
posted it in
sure
our
that's
group
all over
chat.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Someone's that'll be everywhere. That's
that
crazy.
was crazy.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, the refs were bad. They were bad. Like that they were like that's crazy. I'm still just trying to
you should
compute
watch
what
it.
you
You're
just
gonna
said.
love it.
Um,
You're gonna love it.
wow, I wonder actually actually I won't do this. I was gonna try to bring it up on the screen here. I could probably share my screen, but we'll keep talking about the game. I'll do that later. That's
Okay.
crazy. No, that's so I saw a Thunder account tweet out something about how JB they didn't like how JB was hyping up the crowd on that Kate ejection, and they
I
were
saw
like
that
he
too.
should be trying to get his and I was just like I'm not even mad at that Thunder, whoever that is, but I'm just like, that's why we love JB because
Hmm.
he rides for his players. He's here for the city. He hypes up the crowd when there's a bullshit call. Like, we love that. So I was just like, and it's
Yeah,
good
I saw.
theater. Like, how can you
Yeah,
be disappointed about that? Like, fuck out of
I
here.
saw your quote. I think I believe I saw it because you quoted it.
Yeah.
Good, but
Yeah.
he was saying why is JB um like making the crowd boo more instead of like doing other stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's Detroit basketball, man. Like I'm sure he
That's,
didn't watch. He doesn't know JB or Pistons so far this year, but
yeah.
that's how we are. And
That's how we
anyways,
roll. That's how we
yeah.
get under the skin of the opponent. Yeah.
Anyways,
Do
to
you want to
talk
say something
more
else?
about yeah, in the first half, like we had a very slow start in the first quarter. Our starters didn't really have a good start, but Isaiah Stewart with his defensive, like he was crazy. He was blocking everything. As soon as he entered the game with Ron, with Malik, and Simone, like that bench unit really brought us back in the game. We were really good after um they got back. I was really impressed with especially Ron at how he attacked the basket. It was really impressive. So what I noticed is that like JB since Ron had a really good first half in the third quarter, I think he was like first or the second guy that came off the bench, like, and he had like two quick fouls, so he got subbed out. But um, I was happy to see JB rewarding his players good performances. And you did mention this, but I was kind of frustrated at why JB subbed out Asar in the last 3 minutes because
Yeah, it was around the 3 minute mark.
he was doing
He
so well in the defensive end. He was forcing offensive like fouls in the opponents. He was like tapping everything away. He was doing his job on SGA. Like he was the one that kind of brought everything back. But when he subbed him out, it kind of took all the momentum out, and SGA scored on like really tough buckets.
yeah.
Like
He
on his
cooked. He
step
cooked.
back.
He was hunting Tim Hardaway Jr. all night, and he absolutely cooked him on one of those possessions you're talking about.
Yeah,
And
that
like,
bucket was crazy. Yeah.
I think sorry to cut you off, Tom, but you
No,
bring
it's
up a
okay.
good point about Asar, and I tweeted out that was a mistake in JB's defense because I think Asar played most of that fourth. All I can think is because I've seen Asar do this before. I'm not saying he did it this game. All I can think is Asar just needed a breather, and he took him
Mm.
out when the Pistons had the ball on offense. So maybe he just couldn't get him back in, and he's like, "All right, we'll get him a quick 30 seconds here," because he'd been like you said, he was changing the game with his defense on SGA. Maybe Asar or someone was like, he needs a breathe and we'll get him straight back in. But that's the only reason I can think they did it. Because if that's not the reason, then it's truly a mistake. Because SGA immediately, like you said, I think he hit two like middies and then he assisted to an Isaiah Joe three, which was kind of the nail in the coffin.
Yes, I believe he also did that the last game. Like, he didn't play Asar much minutes, and he got
Yeah.
interviewed before tonight's game, about Asar's minutes, and he said that Asar's probably gonna play more in this game. But, um, and I do agree with your point that maybe he needed some rest, but he took him out when we were on offense, but he took him out for like almost like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. That's when SGA went on the ISO scoring runs and that bucket on THJ when he just lost him. That was really frustrating, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I love
That
JB.
I'm just making the case because I
Yeah.
think Asar up until that fourth was actually really struggling, to be honest. So I
Mhm.
think that's why he only played the 20 minutes because I feel like he played at least 8 minutes in that fourth quarter. So I think he was struggling to start the game and Ron was playing way better and Ron was taking
Mhm.
Asar's minutes in that first half. So I think that's why if you're looking at people, not you, Tom, but people looking at the box score, see Asar only played 20 minutes. Last game was more frustrating because I think Asar was just didn't play the fourth, and that was just strange. Whereas this game, I
Yeah.
think Asar was really struggling the first two and a half quarters, or honestly all three, and then was awesome. And maybe he just needed a break. Maybe he didn't, and that's the mistake there. And like you said, you've got to find a way to get him back in, especially after SGA gets that first bucket. He was just off for too long, so that was a mistake. But yeah, I don't know. It was just I'm just proud of them though. Like I'm proud of them
Yeah, me
because
too.
like no Cade, and I know I just said Cade was having a rough game. One of his he just couldn't hit a shot. Like I thought he was playmaking okay outside of the
Yeah,
first
he was
quarter. The
like
turnovers
five
were all
of
right.
18 or something. He couldn't hit
Yeah, he
threes
just
for a second consecutive game. And
yeah,
at Dort's like since before, Dort always did a good job on Cade. Like he's such a
yeah,
physical defender. He's huge, so he knows how to match Cade's physicality somewhat. Like Cade usually has either the speed or a size advantage on his defenders, but against Dort, think he doesn't really have either an advantage like to a huge amount. So like and how they scheme against him if he gets past Dort, there's another guy in Isaiah Hartenstein, who by the way had a really good game. Like his clutch block on the SAR with less than a minute to go, I think that kind of sealed the game for me. But um so their defense was really impressive. Like to give flowers to OKC. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm just talking like a free flowing, but um the Isaiah Joe was also good, but Cason Wallace really impressed me a lot. He was a dog on defense, and he's really good in scoring. Like that OKC team, they're so young and they're so
yeah,
deep. Considering they were without Jalen Williams, they were with Aaron Wiggins, they were without Chet. Man, I was so impressed. And SGA, without he does have some flailing moments, but I had much more positive what do you call this opinions of him after this game than more than negative ones. He was so good.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so
He was
good.
hitting.
Like,
No, that they're a really good team. I'm not even like I don't hate the Thunder or anything. Like I think
mhm.
the officiating of SGA is more frustrating than SGA does do some things that are annoying me, but it's hard. Like he scored what was it, 46, 48, whatever. Like
Yeah, it's crazy.
let's say 10 points of those are from him flailing. Like honestly, he still was incredible. So and the thing I love about OKC is they play every possession, man.
Yeah,
And
they
I
were
think
good.
our boys kind of learnt that throughout the game that like because I feel like OKC kind of rattled our starters in particular with like you do not like you have to work for every defensive rebound, every single one. The moment you
Yeah,
switch off, and I think that's where JD got caught out a few times. I thought he was fine, but that's why Stu stood out so much because he just works every possession, and you need to be like that to be in the game with a team like OKC, like Case and Wallace, like even who's the guy who looks a bit like James Edwards III?
wait.
No, it's been
Uh,
people have posted on Twitter before, and he hates it, but I just can't remember his name. Kendrick Williams.
it's
Like even him, he just hits like these mid-range jumpers, plays good defense on Cade, and I'm just like, man, like they just play every possession, and I think that's the biggest takeaway that I hope our team takes from tonight is like they're so close. They can like tonight they almost won, but like you just got to be locked in every possession
you're right. Like
against these good
Caruso's
teams.
been as
But
good too. Caruso was also
yeah,
huge, especially in the end.
yeah,
He had some key
yeah,
defensive stops.
yeah.
Oh,
No, it was they're impressive, and they were obviously missing their second and third best player, but we're still missing Ivy. Cade kind of had a bit of a stinker and then took himself out. So I don't think anyone should feel. I think we should all feel good about that game. Like once
yeah.
the anger of the refs settle, I think we should all feel very positive about that game. I think they'll learn a
Yeah.
lot from it as well.
One funny part is like I think it was the SGA offensive foul on Osar, which was called a defensive foul at first, and when we challenged it, it got overturned. But I believe when Brian Forte went out to announce that the challenge was successful, when he held the mic, he was still booed nonetheless. Like he was about to say that the challenge was successful and the Pistons will have the ball, but he was still booed because of his text on Kate. I hate that man, man. I've
Well,
never been
Tom,
this frustrated at refs. Yeah.
um, any final thoughts, man? We've got a few people lined up. I'd
Okay.
love to keep you
Okay. I'm
on for
sorry.
longer, but we've
No.
got Prince wait. No, don't apologize. I've been talking too much. Final
Uh,
thoughts, my man. What looking ahead,
not
or
final
I'll turn it to
thoughts.
you.
Not final thoughts. But where are your signed gear? Where's the?
So it hasn't arrived, Tom. I've got two boxes coming from
Oh
Detroit, which I was
no.
hoping to get it on Friday, but
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have to wait till Monday now. So that's why the setup hasn't changed.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at your backdrop and I was like, I kind of
Yeah.
hope that there was some updates. Also, even the Kate signed jersey, they're also sending that over because
Well,
I thought
that's in the cupboard here. I've got that right here.
ah,
If you want,
I knew
I
it. Like,
I just haven't really like I can't I probably
is
could
it
hang it,
far to
but
fetch? Can I take a look, or is
I'll
it too
get it. I'll get
far?
it for you.
Awesome.
One sec. So we got that right here. It's just sitting in my wardrobe. But yeah, I don't know if
Oh,
you can read that. Can
that's
you read that?
awesome.
I don't know. So
I
yeah,
I can see the
I
signature,
think
but
yeah, it's
like,
crazy because it was like it's still
is it the
game worn.
same
It's like
signature with
feels.
this? Sorry,
I assume
is it
so.
this one?
I Yeah, it looks like it. I think he's
Okay,
yeah, they
awesome.
look pretty similar.
I'm so
But yeah,
happy
don't
for you,
worry.
man.
That will be getting framed at some point.
It
So
should be.
no,
It
don't you
should be.
worry,
It
Tom.
has to be. All right. Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having
you,
me up
brother.
here, man. I'm gonna keep
Of
watching the
course,
stream
man.
and all love.
Appreciate you, brother. You're a legend, Tom. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk
You
soon.
too, Jack. Talk soon.
All right,
Bye
man.
bye, everyone.
Catch ya. Bye. We're going to get my man Prince up now. Prince, what's going on, bro? Oh, you might be on mute, or am I on mute? Hang on. Try now. Chat, can you hear me, or is it you can hear Prince? I feel like it might be my man Prince. I'm sure people will tell me in the chat in a second whose audio is working and who's not. But okay, so it's it. Prince, I might give you. Do you want to like come back out and try the link again? And I'll just talk and I'll bring you back up. I'll give Prince a minute or two to figure that out. Seems like people can hear me. Pistons next. Jack and Tom flexing signatures. I'm jealous. Oh man, yeah. That the fact. Sometimes I'll be honest, guys. I'm not trying to flex or anything. It's just out of pure like disbelief. Like I'll like open my wardrobe to go grab something, and I'm like, how the hell do I actually have that jersey? That moment is still crazy, still absolutely crazy. But I like what Pistons next has to say here about OKC. OKC has length, depth, height, and athletic players who can swarm and take up space. They force Cade a bad game. We'll learn from this. Couldn't agree more. Absolutely brilliantly written point. Pistons next. They just like I said, they play every possession. They play a great scheme defensively. They knew how to limit Cade and like even just like pressuring him full court. Like I mean, we've seen other teams do that, but the Thunder just it's relentless all game. So great point from you. Uh, and guys, I will get to some more chat comments. I just want to make sure we get the guests up to
Hey,
speak.
can you hear me now?
Prince, yes, we got you,
Good.
brother.
Good. Okay, so I want to start off saying it's been a good and bad day. It's been a good, as you can see, I'm all bandaged up. I fell off my scooter and onto the concrete. It was bad.
Oh man,
But
man.
at the same time, I know there's going to be a lot of Michigan State fans, but Michigan is advancing to the Big Ten men's basketball championship. That's great. And Michigan State lost. That's also great. Not great for a lot of people in the chat though. And but Pistons lost to OKC and the refs. Oh my god, the refs. It was so bad. It's like the refs, they were just doing everything in their power to make sure that we were not going to secure that win. It was like it was pretty bad, but all in all, I've been great. I've been great.
Hey man, can I just ask, electric scooter or normal scooter?
Oh no, it was
Just a
an
follow
electric
up.
scooter. It was electric. It was electric.
Oh, bro, that would have killed. I hope your hand's all right. It's not broken
Yeah,
or anything. Is it just like grazed and stuff?
yeah, this one is a little bit
Yeah.
bloody, but I have like blood all over this hand. It's crazy, like
Oh
ripped
man.
open wounds. But I'm fine. I'm fine. It didn't really hurt until I put the alcohol on it. So
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie, when I saw that, I thought you might have punched a hole in the wall from those refs. I was like, Prince has lost it. But yeah, the refs, bro.
Yeah.
I had so you know Chris in our chat, he was meant to open the show and he was at the game time. He
Mhm.
goes, Jack, I'm really sorry, bro, but I've literally lost my voice from yelling at the refs. So shout out to Chris if you're watching, bro. We hope your voice gets better. But yeah, I think
Mhm.
did you see the JB press conference? Because I missed it.
Yeah, I saw the JB press conference. At first, he was talking a little bit normal. He was saying some curse words between then and there, but at the end, he crashed out. Like he was throwing stuff, throwing the piece of paper, slamming the table. It was crazy, but it was a reasonable crash out. Like the thing for him, it was just like he was very mad because they weren't even officiating right. He was talking about how like they were like, oh, it was terrible. I was disgusted by the officiating. I tried to talk to them and they just wouldn't do anything about that. And I was like, yeah, I definitely get that. And that's super terrible. Like, I hate that that has to happen, you know? And that's basically all he talked about. But like at the end, he just got really mad and he just stormed out. punched the table, everything. But I could see like that made my anger kind of go away because I could see that like
Yeah.
through then. But I was so mad. Like I was watching the game with my dad and I just couldn't even speak. Like, yeah, I was genuinely thinking about punching a hole in my wall. Like that was like so bad. That ref, he just it was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. I can see some OKC fans in the
Hmm.
chat. I don't think any of us are saying the refs lost us the game. I think we're just frustrated because our MVP candidate got ejected and the first tech was extremely questionable. I think that's what most rational Pistons fans are mad about. I don't think we're saying we would have beaten the Thunder. So but appreciate Thunder fans tuning into the stream.
Right.
But Prince,
Hmm.
is there positives from tonight? I think a huge positive for me was Isaiah Stewart. I think another positive, I thought Dennis Schroeder was awesome. We haven't actually spoken about him. I'm not sure if you have thoughts on his game, but just quickly, he finished with 17 points, 11 assists, made a number of key threes, which surprised me. But any other positives you want to talk about those players? I'll leave it to you.
Yeah. I want to start off with Isaiah Stewart. I mean, it's just the hustle defense. He's just been doing everything that he can. And I loved how he was getting the blocks, making sure that the dude with the orange, I never know these dudes' names. Like I can't even lie. Every time I come on here, I never know their names. But dude with the orange hair, he was just trying to make sure that he wasn't getting anywhere near the rim. He was doing great at rim protection, taking in for Jalen Duren, you know. And I think Jalen Duren bent the rim before halftime.
Yeah,
That was
he
crazy.
did. Yeah, that was
So
crazy, man.
yeah, and then Asar Thompson, he was also doing great. I mean, like when Asar was just trying to do everything that he can, fourth quarter, and playing with that, like I said, hustle defense, it was great to see him doing everything that he can, especially when they were in like the clutch for Cade. And that was just great. And Dennis Schroeder, he was just doing like so much for the team when it was Dennis Schroeder 11 assists and he was just like making sure everybody got it and he was making those clutch shots especially with the long ranger 3-point in crunch time. You love to see it from him and you love to see how he can be such a great role player like Tobias Harris and such a great pickup from what's the name from the Pistons.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I feel like that might have been his best game as a Piston, and they really needed it with Cade having a bit of an off game. So
Hmm.
yeah, big shout out to Dennis Schroeder. Um, yeah, 11 assists, 0 turnovers, like YouTube user says here. That's
Hmm.
crazy because the Thunder, I feel like they are so good at generating turnovers. What did the Pistons finish with? 17 turnovers. So like um, to have your backup point guard dish out 11 with 0 turnovers is huge. And
Hmm.
no, I think that the bench tonight, I think, is probably the biggest positive. They brought the Pistons back every time. Like the starters in that first half, like they got down by like 10, but then the bench came in, brought it back. And
Hmm.
same in the last quarter. K gets ejected. Starters are kind of struggling. It felt like it was the bench. Asar was key in that fourth, but I even thought Simone was good. Fontecchio. I know like he's probably been the most disappointing Piston, but I thought that corner
Hmm.
three was going down to bring it back to two
Yeah,
points. But I mean, look,
me
we got it
too.
back to within a point following that. But I thought he had some really key rebounds in a night where rebounds were really valuable. So
Mhm.
yeah, like overall, Prince, are you I'm like you, man. I'm like
Mhm.
watching that game, I'm going quiet. I'm silent. My
Mhm.
girlfriend's like telling me, being like, "What's wrong with you?" Like she's watching
Yeah.
it with me, and she's always so
Mhm.
positive, and I'm just like, "Nah, it's over." And then they come back, but I think like, how are you feeling overall now about the team? I know the Wizard loss kind of stings even more now with another loss tonight, but yeah, what are your overall vibes?
Vibes low, but at the same time, you always have to be positive, you know? Like, same thing with me, my girlfriend Nyla. She was just like, well, Pistons are always gonna come back. They were bad last year, and I was like, yeah, that's great, that's great, that's great. But at the same time, I was just like, I was mad at the refs, Cade being ejected because refs got his feelings hurt. And I was pretty sad at the end of the game because like my dad and my brother was trying to go to sleep, so I couldn't really yell. I couldn't let my anger out for real. But at the same time, I was just like, well, we just have to take it game by game. We have to take it, be like, all right, we can move on from this loss. But I'm actually really proud of how close we came. And yeah, what's the name? J Dub, Chet, they were out. But like seeing this against OKC gives me a really big hope for the playoffs and that push
Yeah.
that we can get there. And just seeing all of them playing like their hearts out and Cade just trying to do everything that he can for the team. You love to see it. And yeah, I feel like we'll come back. Who do we have on Monday? The Pelicans. We're gonna have that. And I
Let
bought
me see.
on
So you're right. You keep going.
So on Thursday, I bought a game issued Paris 2023 practice shirt. And I saw you with your practice shirt on, and I was like, man, like on Monday, if I come on the interview, I'm definitely
Let's
gonna have that on, rocking that
let's
because
go. Bro,
hmm
so this is like a yeah, you know what this is. It's like a practice top.
hmm
This is the when I got to the Pistons facility or offices, I was like, this is the one
hmm
thing I was like, can I please? Because I don't think you can buy these. I don't know,
right.
maybe you can, but I've always just wanted one of these. And I was like,
hmm
do you please
Yeah,
have the black one specifically? So this is like out of all the stuff, this is like the number one thing I wanted because they're just like such a good t-shirt. So
it's so
bro, we'll
simple,
be repping the same.
hmm
Yeah.
So I was like, I just want something that I can wear that's not a jersey while I'm hooping. That's super simple.
Exactly.
And then I was on
Yeah.
eBay and I was like, man, I'm trying to find something that's cool but not too simple. And then I saw the one from the Paris game and it was game issue. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. It was like
That's
$50.
cool.
But yeah, it was great. I'm glad I got to have that shirt. But with the game, I think we can come back against the Pelicans full circle. And I think it's going to be a great game. I think we can win that game, definitely. My theory was wrong, though. We didn't lose or win by over 20. But I think it was such a great game to see how they were coming clutch for Cade and doing everything they could. And of course, the ref, he was just doing everything in his power to just making sure we did not get that win. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing? And yeah, just got to stay positive. Like, I'm still happy with this team and how we've been doing this year. Even if we do
Yeah.
lose all of the games for the rest of the season, got to be proud, got to be positive. And I just feel like another thing, Malik Beasley, he's just been so non-efficient. Yeah, I feel like he hit what he needed to hit, but I feel like these past couple of games, he has not been hitting as much as he did like when I was watching him, like this
Yeah.
middle of the season post All-Star game. And I just feel like seeing Beasley like not doing like what you expect him to do each night, it's been taking a big toll on the Pistons, and I can see that because I feel like with
Yeah.
Beasley's threes, go ahead.
No, look, I think smart teams like the Thunder, especially, who have so many players who can like defend, they
hmm
just do a really good job of making it hard for bees to get open off screens and stuff. Like, because tonight, like, I'm with you. Like, they need. I think I said in the chat, like in the fourth quarter, I was like, they need Beasley or THJ to go off here to have a chance. And both of them actually hit like a key three in the fourth. And Bees like
hmm
15 points, 3 of 7 from deep. Like, we just haven't had. I think we're so used to him having like that 25-point game with 7 threes
Right,
that he
right.
probably just hasn't had since the Philly game, I want to say, where he had like 30
hmm
something. But I feel you. I think teams are doing a better job at defending him. But
Right.
I get you. Like this team really needs him, with obviously without JI, to have
hmm
consistent 20-point games. And yeah, I feel you though. I'm waiting for that Bees like nuclear game where he's just can't miss a shot.
Yeah.
No, I get
Um,
you for sure.
And then same thing with Tim Hardaway Jr. Like I feel like that clutch shot, we definitely did need that. But I feel like Beasley has been doing that these past couple of games too. Like he's been non-existent the whole game until the fourth quarter where we actually need it. And I love seeing them like being there for the clutch. But I feel like Tim Hardaway Jr., same thing with him these last couple of days. They just haven't been like performing as we saw them pre All-Star game and post All-Star game. And I think the Pistons have been doing very well as a team, but I feel like we need those key role players. And I just want to say, I don't really see this a lot, but Tobias just really did everything that he needed to. Like, Tobias being that key role player that we need each and every day is great, but I feel like he did just a little bit more extra, especially when Asar was out. So I think Tobias being there and putting up the layups that we needed, getting that mid range, and getting making all those free throws, especially when Asar like missed that one, it was just like Tobias really gave his all tonight, and I'm glad to see that by him
Yeah.
too.
Great shout out. I think Tobias, yeah, since the Ivy injury has been everything we expected, making key shots, giving you that 18 to 20 each night on efficiency, rebounding the ball. No, definitely a good shout out. Prince, final
hmm
thoughts, bro, before I bring up Mark here on the game
hmm
or anything Pistons related. I'll turn it to you.
Okay. Man, I just think Pistons right now, Pistons hoops. We're doing good, but I feel like we should be doing more. Like you said, you asked me a question a couple of like about a week ago, and you were like, is it gonna go uphill or downhill?" And I feel like us winning like one of the past four, like these past couple of games, or two of the past six, it's just been like very, very like big for me, and how we're winning less games and losing more. Like, I feel like we should be back on that efficiency, especially when it comes to like us having this deep schedule and how it's going to be hard. We should definitely be locking in more, and I'm glad we did everything we could against OKC. This is exactly what I wanted to see. And Cade just being dropped out, the refs just being terrible all game, and I just got to give it to them. Like, they've been doing good, but they should be doing more. And I hate to say
Yeah.
that. Like, I really want to be grateful for everything that they've been doing for us this year. But I mean, the offseason is going to be crazy with all the trades going on, and hopefully us getting Devin Booker, who we're going to trade. And just seeing that, I just feel like we should put more, and at least to sustain the sixth seed. Like, of course, we would win the play in no matter who we play, to me. But I just want to be good enough to sustain the sixth seed at least. We can't be
Yeah.
losing these games to the point where we're going all the way down to like 7, 8. Like, that can't happen, especially with
Well,
Atlanta being so great and just doing everything. But just us trying to sustain the sixth seed at least until the end of the season, trying to make a deep playoff run, trying to be good for like what's getting ready to come, because I feel like this rest of the season is going to be hard, but we have to stay locked in. We have to stay together. We have to make sure that like everybody gets their rest. Everybody makes sure that like at least nobody gets injured before the off
yeah.
season. But yeah, like you said, we have to take care of business, and we can't fall below. Like,
Yeah.
we can't prove them right, especially after what Shaq said. Like, I feel like he's just mad because of '04. Like, he remembers those days. He remembers those days. I just feel like
It's
we can't
yeah.
prove them right. We can't say like, oh, we're gonna be such a great team and then lose a lot of games with the remainder of the season. Like, I feel like we have to lock in. No matter what, we have to make sure that we win a sustainable amount of games so we can get the 6 or 5 seed at least.
Prince, we're gonna have that 6 seed. Well,
hmm
I'm like you. We're not falling below 6. I'm so confident of that. I feel
hmm
you. I really do, because I sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, are they gonna fall off a cliff here?" But you know
hmm
what? Like, I agree with what you're saying, man, for sure. Like, people like
Right.
Shaq and stuff. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, but I think we're good. They're gonna keep growing. They're gonna win their fair share of games. They're gonna lose a couple more, but we're gonna have that fifth or sixth seed. I believe it.
hmm
I believe it. But appreciate you as well. As always, brother. Plenty of love for you in the chat. I know you'll be back after the Pelicans game on Monday. So
hmm
excited to chat with you
Yeah.
then, bro. Thank you as always for staying up. It's Saturday night for you though, isn't it?
Yeah, Saturday
You got
night,
school tomorrow.
10:44. Oh my God, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to hop on because there's a tornado outside. Literally.
Oh,
Like, yeah, there's a
shit.
tornado in Atlanta today. And
Oh
man,
man. Well,
I was
stay
just like,
safe.
I have to be on this stream. But thank you for all the
Appreciate
wishes.
you.
Thank you for everybody in chat. And yeah, hope you all have a great night.
You too, man. Enjoy your night. We'll chat soon.
You too,
Thanks,
Jack.
brother.
Bye-bye.
Catch you. All right, we're gonna bring up my man Mark here in just a moment. Mark, what's going on, man? Oh, we got you coming in
Oh,
sideways.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Oh,
Mark's
that's
joining
not
us
going to
from
work.
Western Australia. Here we go. That's
Will that
perfect.
work? Oh, no, sugar. Sorry, mate.
Nah, you're good, bro. Take your time.
Yeah.
So you're all good. So we've got Mark here joining us from Western Australia in Perth. Other side of the country to me, but funnily enough, we both go for the Pistons. We both follow the same AFL team, which I haven't looked at the scores, but I saw your message saying we're getting absolutely pumped. So I'm guessing I'm not missing much.
No, I checked it out. We were 20 points down or something. We could come back. You
Okay.
never know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Mark, just want to say as well, massive thank you. Mark gave me these incredible cards behind me. Sorry, my fat head's in the way, but I brought them up on the last stream. Everyone go follow Mark's Instagram as well. His handle's just on the screen. He's got all these great cards of Pistons players and all that kind of stuff. So go show him some love if you're into that kind of thing. But just want to say thank you to you, Mark, as well for your donations and stuff. Oh my God, you've given me one on this stream as well. Sorry, I missed it.
No,
You're a
it's all
legend.
good.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it's tough. I think we got off to a pretty bad start. The turnovers at the very start of the game kill us, and the game was called pretty fairly until when the umpires get a narrative and they were just trying to perceive fouls, like the one on the THJ when he defended him and he even moved to the side. That was the point when I thought, oh no, they're just, I don't know. Sometimes I just think it's a fake league, but that's just me going really extreme.
No, I know that play you're talking about, and the Pistons reviewed it. Thank God, and it got overturned. But yeah, no, it was.
In my
frustrating.
opinion, that should be a foul. Like that should be a foul against him, because he's like, he initiated contact with his foot. They even said it on the call.
Yeah,
or the umpire.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's frustrating. Part of me gets frustrated with SGA, but then part of me gets frustrated with the refs. So I'm just like, I know he's hard to officiate, but like, I don't know. All these calls, it just slows the game down, takes momentum away. But yeah. What would you say were your big positives tonight?
Yeah, Ron Holland was sick. His little spurt was really awesome. Seeing Asar hit a 3 from the corner was great.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I think seeing them with just Schroeder in the final quarter and giving him that time to kind of get a bit more of a gel with the players was pretty good. And Cade got a rest.
Yeah, he certainly did get a rest.
He doesn't normally get a rest.
No, no, Schroeder was awesome. Do you think that was his best game as a Piston? Like, he's only played like 10, but I feel like that must be his best.
Yeah. He couple of bailout threes were huge, and his playmaking was great. He was getting paint touches, everything he needs to do, perfect. Really good, and also quite feisty on defense, which is like handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Sean says here, forgot about the SR3. Good call, Mark. He actually did that last game as well. I think the Pistons were down by a couple of buckets and hit a 3 against the Wizards. So he's 2 of 2 in his last 2 games. So I don't think he'd been shooting them at all for like a month or so before. So he was very wide open. So you want to see him shoot it, but I don't know. Hopefully he can build from that a little bit.
Yeah, it looked wet as well. It was really nice. His elbow was tucked in. It looked pretty good. Like, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, what was your thoughts on JB taking out Asar at I think it was at the 3-minute mark?
Well, I feel like the damage was done on other players most of the time. The switches, sometimes I think they just like let them go a bit too easily. Like Asar's so quick, he can actually just catch back up to a player, and like I don't know. So bringing him out at the 3-minute mark, I can see why they did it though, because he was like trying to take over the game with defense, and it's they need to just get better at when he gets a steal, actually capitalizing, because they seem to turn the ball over after getting a steal.
There
That's
was a couple of those tonight or today that they got the turnover, and then I think Beasley like he ran straight into Caruso and it was a charge, and then they've been a bit in transition. They're normally pretty good, the Pistons, but the past couple of games I feel like they haven't fully capitalized, like you said, with just on some of these turnovers they're generating. I feel like normally they're pretty good at that, but I'm definitely with you tonight, especially when you play a team as good as the Thunder. Like, you need to capitalize on any opportunity.
Oh, it's more focused on Asar. Like, he's so amazing that he like breaks, like, messes the game up to a point where it's like, oh, now what do we do with the ball?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's a good point.
So they might need to look at scenarios with like 4 defenders and 2 offensive players, like in a really weird like split set on, and see how they can try and work it out a bit better.
Yeah, I agree, because sometimes you're so right. He gets like that steal or something, and he's so quick, but it feels like he doesn't have much of a plan, and he's just kind of going full tilt at the rim, and he often looks a bit confused. He'll take a tough shot, or he might throw like a tough pass. So yeah, because he's such a good athlete.
Sure.
Maybe he's just trying to get in there and finish over the top of everyone. But he's so good at getting that steal. But that's a great call. I haven't really thought about that, but with him,
but that'll come in time with him, because he's still like pretty slight. He's going to fill out. He'll be awesome. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
Can
I ask you, Mark? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Did you watch much of like the Bad Boys Pistons? I feel like So I'm just really intrigued. So you've watched Pistons basketball for a long time. This Jaden Ivey, how there's the Devon Booker kind of trade. I don't know if it's ever going to actually happen, but would you look to trade Devon Booker if it was for something like Ivy, Ron, and some picks? Or do you think that this young core, you keep it together no matter what for at least another season or 2? I'm like torn.
Because of who the team is, and it's hard to get players that want to come here, I'd take Booker.
Yeah,
but
I think I would, but
it'd be maximum Ron Holland and like a future pick. I saw someone say 4 future first rounds. We're not all as dumb as the Mavericks, but it's like, I don't know. You go for Booker, and because he's got playmaking.
Yeah,
it's just his 3-point shot. We'd have 2 guys that are pretty unreliable from deep.
In Cade and Booker.
Yeah,
Cade's shot. Yeah, I think Booker as well. The reason I don't mind pushing all your chips into someone like Booker, not something crazy like you said, but like you were saying, but he's from Grand Rapids, from Michigan. I feel like what we've seen from him, he fits well next to Cade. 3-point shot, inconsistent, but he can still shoot it. And I feel like he's actually a real competitor. Like, I feel like Booker would really fit this team in terms of like giving a shit. But it's tough.
It still fits the mold of like what a lot of Detroit teams that have been successful, 2 good guards as well. So because it's all about trying to get us all into it. I could see what they were trying to build with Ivy and Cade, 2 strong guards that can like be the future. But if you can upgrade him now, because the team's taken a leap, I do like Ivy. Anyway.
No, I didn't mean to derail the chat. I was just because I think Prince brought it up before, and I was like, oh, I'll ask Mark, because I know you've watched more Pistons basketball than me and seen a lot of successful teams. So I was just keen to get your thoughts on that. But I'm trying to think when the last time we spoke was, Mark. It's probably been like a month. It was definitely before my trip.
It was.
Derek's calling me out in the popcorn. Sorry, guys. I'm just starving and I haven't eaten. So the popcorn's good though. But how are you just feeling about the team overall? Because I feel like I think when I was in Detroit, they won 8 in a row towards at the start of my time there. But the past week and a half, the Wizards game was disappointing, but I still think they're trending in a really nice direction. Just where are you with them overall?
We last spoke after the Suns game, and I've only been on for losses, so that's a bit of a
Have we
bummer.
still not been on
But
after a win?
nah, not yet. No, it's only 3 times, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Since the win streak, which was awesome because it obviously was built on defense, it's been good. But we've met a couple of teams that have probably matched us, and and so we're learning to cope with a physical style of play. How those tech fouls, they're just going to come real quick because you're bumping, and like a couple of times. I love Stu of this season. He's been amazing. He gets that steal, and then he comes in and he just like bumps into, was it Wallace and just turns the possession over.
Yeah.
It's just being on the edge, not just knowing not to step over it. And sorry Americans, but it's in AFL, isn't it? To be uncompromising, but within the rules if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why. I mean, I'm a little bit. I mean, if the Pistons Pacers series, if that's who we play in the first round, I'm so excited for it. And I think we saw a little bit in this game at the end of the third where it's just like the refs, I agree, were bad, but it's just trying to navigate those scenarios and not giving up 2 techs in a row and not getting ejected. Yeah. Even if I think one of those techs was bad, it's just like, I think JB got a tech tonight, and I'm not singling him and Cade out because they've been incredible, but it's just feels like sometimes when the emotions are really high against a good team, the Pistons sometimes just lose it, and they're still just trying to like you said, figure out towing that line of like being aggressive and fighting for like your team and that, but also just also not trying to hurt the team too much and take themselves out of the game. And I think they did a better job of that tonight than they did against Indiana a month or so ago. But I'm with you for sure. It's like they're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, considering how physical the game was, because playing against Indiana, it's not really physical. They're not. I mean, they're all right. I mean, Nemhard's a good defender, but the whole team, they're not really a crazy team defense. But this OKC, you could see they weren't. I didn't even feel like they were like pressing Cade in the first half. They were just one-on-one, like Dort, obviously, but most of them are pretty good perimeter defenders. And Harkenstein, that was a good game for Duran to learn from a player like him. Like, did you see his drop-off passes were so good? There would be like not even a mil either side of where he could have dropped that through that gate and perfect nearly every time. And every time they're getting sucked into like, where's he gonna run to? He's running to half court, is he? Stay on the basket side of him.
Hartenstein's he's really good, man. He's really good. Like, great point. Like those passes, like where he'd hit a cutter, I was like, wow, that's like pretty special for a big man. Like I like how you say JD can learn a lot, because Hartenstein was doing that on offense, then blocking shots on defense. Like he's a really good player. So, and I'm with you. Even when I was watching it, I was like, every time for a guy that can't shoot, every time Hartenstein had the ball, I was like a bit nervous because, like you said, it's like, where's he going? Who's he going to hit? And it felt like the players, like you said, were like reactive to that a little bit as well. And this is a guy that can't shoot, but just because of his passing and all that, like they're a very good team. They're a very good team, OKC.
They're a well-oiled machine, and they're just plodding along. It'll be interesting to see when the games tighten up their secondary scoring. And I think the theory is that they'll just have players pop up, but it's tough in playoff series, and that's a massive issue for us. And also how heliocentric we are. So, we're going to either have to get hell good at defense and just get so many turnovers and start fast breaks, or I think a playoff series will be a great challenge. We could get some success out of it, but it would be tough for us to win against all 3 teams. No disrespect to anyone who thinks we can beat New York or any of them. But we got to think we're a building team who's getting some chemistry, and every loss is a massive learn for us, and especially all these techs. That it's good, but bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you say?
No, well, that's the thing, Mark, is like, and JB, you could hear him yelling it in the first half and the third quarter. It's like push the pace, like because that's how the Pistons do damage right now without kind of that true secondary scorer without Ivy. It's like they need a push in transition. They need Cade to be having a really good game. Obviously he didn't tonight, but they pretty much it's Cade pick and roll, Malik Beasley getting hot, maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. or it's pushing in transition, and that's their strengths. I feel like, and I think in the playoffs, the transition stuff it slows down a lot, so that's where I think they might struggle. Probably will struggle, but like you said, every loss is just a build. Like they can build. Like tonight's loss, like OKC, I think are the favorite or definitely top two in terms of title odds. So you learn a lot. Like the thing, my biggest takeaway is just like seeing how no matter who's on the floor, the Thunder just play every single possession. It felt like every time the Pistons got a defensive rebound, they work their ass off to get it because the Thunder just do not like ever let you have anything. It's like that's the level
Because
you need to get to.
they can lean on Shea, knowing like, oh, we get a turnover, sick. Oh, pull it out. Let's just pull it out.
Yep.
Yeah, bring him over. Oh, tip it to him. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, open three, Wallace, wasn't it? Hey, how many was it?
Yeah.
And it was that guy
Yeah.
just like hedging, and you're like, what are you doing, man? Just stick on your man. Unless you're gonna fully double him, just stay on your man. Like,
Yeah.
and the crowd was so good tonight. Hey, because you know that the refs suck. Yeah, I had my door open. I got a 2.5-year-old, and my partner came, and she's like, "I've got to close," and I was getting a bit fired up too. But yeah, it was good.
Crowd was awesome.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
The crowd was amazing. Like normally, it's I said it before. You probably heard, but like I was just like sometimes it doesn't do it justice how loud it is in the building on TV. But that ref you suck chant was so loud. But Mark, any final thoughts, mate, before I let you go? I've got Devon coming up next, but
cool.
I'll turn it to you.
I think we can just keep going. At least try and get 500, get into that 6th seed, and learn from this playoffs experience. And I reckon just go for Devon Booker. Go for him because he's been with them for so long. It'd be a massive move for him, and if it's back to Detroit, it could be awesome. It could be fantastic. Yeah,
I think like
he's only 28, isn't he? He's 28, man.
Yeah, he's not. He was in the 2014 or 15 draft, so he's like, I think you're right.
He's been in the
He'd be like
league
27
for so long.
Yeah, I think he came in quite young as well, like from Kentucky. But like, I think he's 27, 28. I would go for him because I think in the East as well,
we lose Holland and Ivy and a future pick or something like that, and
you'd probably give up a fair bit.
Yeah, you'd give up a fair bit. They'd probably be asking for 2 futures, and then
probably 4.
we've got I think the quality of those 2 players, though, Jade and Ivy, and they're both top 5 picks. That's pretty. They're higher picks than Booker, you know.
Yeah. No, I think the only reason I have to go up a heap of picks is if they can do it is because there'll be teams like the Rockets who have got all these picks. So that's the only reason. Like I think they have to give up a heap, but we'll see what happens. If they don't get Booker, I'm like he's probably the one star. I'm like, I don't mind pushing in the chips for him and not doing anything ridiculous like trading your whole young core, but you'll have to give up a fair bit for a player like him. He's a guy I would bring in. I think he's got a pretty decent injury history. I think he fits well in alongside Cade and clearly fits with Detroit. But if not, I'm more than happy to come back next season with the young guys. Keep rolling it out because they're a very exciting team. But Mark, appreciate you joining, mate. Hopefully next time we get you on, it's after a win. It's going to happen very soon. But
hopefully
big shout out to you.
Hopefully I tune into the Saints game and we're going to get a win. Hopefully.
Go Saints. You enjoy that, mate.
Yes.
I might try and watch it after this, but we'll chat soon. And thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
See ya. Bye, mate.
All right, we got. What have I done here? We got Devon. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm feeling good now after chatting to some Pistons fans.
I feel that. Can you hear me? I've kind of
Yeah. Oh,
messed
we
with
got the
my
mic. Yeah, it's really good. Quality's
cool.
awesome. Thoughts? You fire away. I've spoken enough.
Oh, for one, how was your trip in Detroit? For one,
That was awesome, man. It's
I
crazy.
feel-
It was actually, yeah, like genuinely mean it. It was like a dream come true. Just being in Detroit, meeting so many fans in person, being at the games was crazy. And then the stuff with the players was just pretty much all unexpected.
I feel
So that was just like, that was crazy as well. But honestly, man, just the way the team, like organization really looked after me. So I'm very grateful. And it was just, man, honestly, meeting all Pistons fans in the flesh was so sick. So cool.
It's dope.
Like, I loved it. I
I
can't
wish I
wait to
could've
get
made it
back
up there.
whenever that is. Well, man, I can promise you this. I'll definitely be back in Detroit multiple more times
Yeah,
in my life. So I'm sure we're going to make it happen.
I feel that. I was gonna come up too because my mom, she came up actually. My mom lives in Florida, so I was gonna come up there
Yeah.
and like see her at the same time. But when that snow hit, I was like,
Yeah.
she's like, stay there. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna stay here. Y'all listen to your mom, you know. So
I love it, man. I
Yeah.
love it. But yeah, Detroit's incredible. I can't wait to get back whenever that is.
I feel that.
But
But-
what do you think about tonight's game, bro?
I enjoyed it. I mean, of course, we want to, walk out with a win, but I thought we was gonna lose this game anyway. The Wizards game's a game we should have won, but even then, it's like, I thought we was gonna lose. So I'm not really hurt. I like the way we play, and it just showed that, we're almost there. Like, I know fans are a lot of people pessimistic about it, but Pistons show, they're a good team. Like the Thunder is arguably the best team in the league right now, and we went toe to toe with them. Like, they was missing some guys, but I mean, we're missing Ji too. So I mean, we had a good game against them. Only lost by 6. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you, man. I wanted to win, but to be honest, like considering the way the flow of the game was going at the end of the third, where I think they were down by double digits, K just gets ejected. I think JB got a tech. Like for them to come back, get within a point or a bucket on a couple of occasions, and could have easily won. Not easily, but they could have won this game.
Mm-hmm.
They had a couple more shots. Like if anyone's leaving this game like disappointed or frustrated or negative, like I don't really know what you're watching because I think OKC are that good, even without Chet and J-Dub. Like they just have like endless amounts of players that just
Yeah.
can come in, hit a shot, and they're just so tough. Like they just fight for every possession. So I'm proud of our team. And like you said, I think we're so close. We really are.
I feel like
To just being, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like we're almost the OKC of the East. Like we can get there. Like everyone is so scared about us signing guys, but everybody's not gonna get a super max. Like everyone's not gonna be signed to 30, 40, 50 mil. So we can easily become the OKC of the East. It's just that right now is just we don't know because no one's really locked down right now. But only thing we need our Shaq. We need our our big man. Like I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but I hear people are saying with getting Devin Booker, but I want JJJ. I want Jared Jackson way more than Booker. I want someone to fit the timeline, someone that's the same age. Like I don't. As soon as we get our power forward, our big man, little unicorn type of player, that Shea guy, the guy we should have got was Wemby. You know what I mean? But as soon as we get that type of guy, we're gonna take off so much. And to me, like I'm good.
I mean, I would love Triple J. The reason I'm like the Booker thing, I like it is because I can see a world where he actually ends up here. Like,
Yeah.
because of the way the Suns are going. Like Triple J, I would absolutely love him. I just don't know how you're going to get him. But I agree. That's the missing piece is like it ultimately, like if you look at this roster and the talent they have, the biggest area for improvement long term is the 4 position easily. Like
Yeah.
Tobias is doing a serviceable job, but he's 32, 33. Like he's just a short term fella. So yeah, Jaren Jackson would be incredible. Is he from Detroit? I know he went to Michigan State. Was he
I don't
from
think
Michigan?
so. I'm not sure, but I think he's have
I feel
like
like
heavy
he's not.
tie, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, that would be incredible. What would you have to give up to get? What would you be willing to give up to get him, if it was even a possibility?
I'm thinking more so that Memphis don't have enough cap space, but I'm mad they traded Marcus Smart,
Okay.
you know. But I
Yeah,
mean, we have to see. I think we can get him in free agents, but you know, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be an easy person to get. You know, it'd be multiple picks, 3, 4, 5 picks, but we have to see. That's one of the future deals. You know that it might can happen, but you know, it's my pipe dream. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think I think everyone in the chat's like agreeing with you. He'd be incredible. His injury stuff scares me a little bit. I know he's been healthier more recent, but yeah. I liked what Pistons next is. Let's go through this. I know you're not into the Booker trade, but I think this is not a bad framework for a deal. Jack, are you willing to give up Ivy, Asar, or Duren, Simone, Tobias? 27, 29, and 31 first for Booker. I'm not. No, absolutely not with Asar. I'm still so intrigued by Asar.
I feel that's giving up way too much. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. It is too much. But I just feel like that's probably what we're looking at for Booker, isn't it? Unless he says, I only want to come to Detroit and like tanks his market so the Pistons have more leverage, like just because of what I feel like other teams can offer. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't think the Booker thing's going to happen. But I just feel like it'd be a cool fit. Like I think for me, he's just one player I would like do this type of package for, not Asar, but something that has this many picks and probably JI.
Yeah, I feel like Booker is just a nice story too, though.
Yeah,
like the hometown
of the
kids
ties.
vibe, you know. So.
I feel like he is like. I feel like he would fit the mold here.
Yeah.
Like I know he's not the best defender, but he's like competitive as. Like I feel like he'd be cool. I think he'd really work.
I mean, he helped us win this game, so I mean, it's not like he's not talented, you know. So
yeah, no. Like, but I'm talking too much about trades because this team's like, what are they now? They're 37 and 31, still very comfortably in the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Maybe Devon this week. So I'm going to go through the 4 games in the next week, and I want you to tell me what you predict. So they play in New Orleans in 2 days' time. Then they play in Miami 2 days after. Then in Dallas, 3rd game of a road trip, and then they come back home and play the Pelicans. I mean, honestly,
we want to say the same thing.
I think we are, but I asked you the question. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I think you're gonna say the same thing I'm thinking. We better win all them games.
Like, I mean, they should. Like,
yeah.
Miami are like 8 games below 500. Pelicans, I know Zion's playing well, but like, come on, man. When was the last time we beat the Pelicans? Like, we should. This is the year we should be beating them both times.
Yeah.
So, and then the Mavs, they don't even have their roster. They might not even be able to field a team.
Yeah, there's a report today they might forfeit some games. I'm hoping that
is that actually a legit report on that?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Like, let us get some rest. You know what I mean? Like
that would be crazy. But I almost want to play them when they're that depleted. I can't remember the last time we won in Dallas either. That's Cade's hometown, so I mean, hopefully he has a big game there. But I'm with you. I think bare minimum 3-1. If you don't go 3-1 there, then I'll be disappointed. Because look, because those first 3 games are on the road, I just think I know this team's been really good on the road, but I still just sometimes think anything can happen on the road. So I'm going to say 3-1. But are you predicting 4-0?
I mean, to me, they better. But like you said, it is road game, so it's scary. But yeah, they better go 4-0. It just helps the playoff chances. But the Miami game is huge. I mean, I look at the standards a lot. Miami, they're not right there, but it's one of them games that still can count for like 2 games because I think they're like 6 games behind us. So I mean,
let me check it. You know what?
Maybe
while you're chatting, I think you'll be right. Maybe even more, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Miami was right there.
7 currently. they're 7.5 games behind the
Oh
Pistons.
dang! I didn't know.
And-
Never,
and
I mean, it's still
I'm just
huge,
gonna-
but it's not huge.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like. So for those wondering as well, like the Pistons are still a full 4.5 games ahead of the Hawks, who are at 7. So I'm just, I get why some fans are worried about us falling out of the playoffs, but
Yeah,
out of the 6, we're not falling out of the 6. Even the most pessimistic people, like we would have to fully have something. I'm not even going to say it. It would just be a massive shock if they
be a meltdown.
don't finish 6th. Yeah, it'd be historic or something.
I'm not worried, but I want them to get their stuff together because I mean it can still happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
like
And you
it's-
want them to head into the playoffs with good momentum. Like we don't want to just be
Yeah.
like focused so much on just clinging on to the 6th seed that we're entering with like bad momentum. So that's just as important.
And also just getting rest. Like, why are we playing? If we win the play in, that would be so pointless. Like, we already know we're a playoff team. We've been in the 6th seed for a while. What's the point of
Yeah.
us getting in the play in just to play in? Just to play in, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
pointless.
I guarantee you, Devon, when we're not falling lower than 6,
No, I feel that.
barring something horrible happening, we're not falling out of the 6. Like I don't gamble, but I would put a lot of money on the Pistons to
Feel
win the
that.
playoffs.
I definitely
But
feel
that's why I
you.
don't gamble because I don't take those risks.
Same. I got a coworker who's crazy about it. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I'm too like I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. You know, I'm
Yeah.
thrifty with my money. I'm smart with it. So
Well, I was gonna say you're not cheap, you're smart.
yeah, exactly. You know,
But yeah. Well, what can I ask you? We haven't spoken in a while either. I
I
feel like
know.
it's been a
Been
minute.
busy.
Like maybe Jalen Duren. I'm not sure. I can't fully remember your thoughts on his season. Maybe towards the end of last year, but I guess you just said you want Jaren Jackson, but Jalen Duren just this season, the past 2.5 months. What have your thoughts been on him?
I mean, he's been balling, but don't get me wrong. I still wouldn't mind an upgrade. But I'm huge on JD because I feel like we can be a team like the Cavs if JD breaks out. Like we can easily be. To me, like in a few seasons, it's going to be Pistons, Cavs, maybe the Magic is going to just own the East, and it's all lead up to like that center position right now. The power forward too, but that center position is huge. But you know, I like JD, but if the upgrade is there, I wouldn't mind getting rid of it. But I also feel like if we somehow can manage him and Stu off the bench together and the upgrade, that'd be nice. Like imagine Stu was in a Paul Reed role, but with more minutes, that'd be cool with me. Or JD same role or more minutes, that'd be cool. But it's gonna be up to it's up to the Pistons if they want to resign him or not. I'm cool with it as long as it's not like a whole bunch, which I doubt it will be.
Yeah, I think I'll be interested. I feel like maybe JD doesn't get extended this summer just because I feel like he will want to like try and get even more money by continuing this play next season.
Yeah.
And maybe what the Pistons would offer for only him having half a good season probably wouldn't be what he would want to sign for. And Ivy's the interesting one if talking about extensions. I feel like it's probably not as well. And maybe it's more from JI wanting to get another full season to like, because the Pistons could probably offer him something smaller because of the injury and lack of production this season due to his injury. So be
Yeah.
interesting to see if they extend either of them. Got no idea about the cap. Maybe it is smarter for one of them to sign this offseason. I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting.
It could be a blessing in disguise with Ivy being hurt though, because I mean, he might be lower, but he's still gonna be on the rise. You know, he might sign him for less than his real actual
Yeah.
value. So to me, I would resign them both. Maybe not next year because I mean, if we still can keep him on the rookie scale or extend it for like a little bit less, then we can do that, and it can help us out for like next year. Just having more, cap space for next year. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna resign him like that, but maybe the year after next they resign him. So I mean, keep him on a rookie deal. Get your money's worth. Like I said, I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. Same with my Pistons team. I look at all that.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Devon? The game or that, like his team?
The game, I just want to say, like Isaiah Stewart, like he's been working on it, so he's been chilling. But the way the refs been like refereeing him, it's kind of getting annoying. Like every little thing he does, it's like, he ejected, flagrant. Like he's just a physical player. I mean, you see, he's big and cocky. Like, why is it everything he does, everyone think is like a malicious intent or just something just hostile? Like, he's just playing physical. He's just not a soft person. Like, stop making him seem like he's just some type of hothead. It's kind of getting annoying at this point.
Oh, that I can't believe they reviewed that for a hostile act. That was crazy. I will say I think Stu's unfortunately kind of not like, how can I say this? I think he's kind of earned the reputation himself.
Yeah.
I think social media makes it seem worse than it is because a lot of people comment on it who have probably never watched him play a full game. But I think just with the refs, he's probably earned that reputation, like a Draymond. Trying to think of some other players, but you know what I mean. But I think tonight, that one they reviewed was ridiculous. That was actually just ridiculous. That was a waste of time, slowing the game down. It's just like ridiculous. That was like, if it was something a bit more physical, or I don't know, he's definitely done things. I'm like, I can see why they're reviewing it with his reputation, but that one tonight was bizarre.
But that's what the playoffs going to help us out too, because once you get in the playoffs, people gonna say like, oh, like Isaiah Stewart's gonna get so much praise in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be, but it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny because I feel like people who have watched so many Pistons games, like you and I, and probably literally everyone in this chat, it's like I think most people have always seen the value of Stu. Well, just this season especially, like how good of a defender he is.
Yeah,
and like I think when the Pistons play these better teams, or like the Thunder tonight, he shines because, you know, like some of the other players, their weaknesses maybe get a bit exposed against the best competition. Whereas Stu on defense, like you just see how good defensively he is.
yeah,
And just the energy. Like he changed the game in that first quarter. I feel like the Thunder were killing the Pistons, and he came in and had a few blocks. Like he locked up Shea a few times, had a block on him, and then even in the second half, I think he was really solid as well.
Yeah, I think he came in and got like 2 blocks right away. I'm like, okay, Stu. Like,
yeah.
but
It's so true though. Like you said, so many people are gonna like in the playoffs. I just know he's gonna have the like highlight moments where everyone's like Isaiah Stewart. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, dude, we've seen it the whole time. You're just jumping on
we
the
played the
bandwagon
Knicks
now.
and he just pumped Cat. I swear.
Yeah.
Like Cat is soft for me, so we play the Knicks and she's still being aggressive on Cat, block his shot. Like that's gonna be hype for the media.
I agree, because I got to watch Cat in person when I was in New York. I went to a Knicks game.
Yeah,
that man, he is so talented. I actually kind of enjoyed watching him play because he's so talented. He complains after every possession to the refs, unless he makes a shot. It is crazy. Like, so someone like Stu can very easily get into his head.
I can see that. Like I love Cat's skills, but his mentality and that weakness, I can't get. I don't like soft people. I'm just not built for that soft stuff, and I can't deal with it. Like, be strong, especially 7 foot. Like, I wish I was 7 foot.
Yeah.
I'll be crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Not saying I'm not being violence or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but still, like, you can be tough without being violent. I'm not trying to promote violence on here.
For sure. Well, Devon, man, I've got to wrap this one up in the next couple of minutes, but I want to give you a chance to just say anything else, any final thoughts, anything you saw on social media tonight that annoyed you. Be far away.
I don't have much time to talk about it, but I want to say people who complain about Troy Weaver, you guys are being idiots and don't watch enough basketball because he was not the worst GM in Pistons history or anything like that. Stan Van Gundy, as in recent times, was way, way, way worse than Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver, he was average. You know, he put us in this position to get all these young players. He gave, basically he gave Trajan the alley. Like he was, Trajan, Tobias Harris was already coming in here. All Trajan had to do was get some more shooting, more veterans, got that coach. So, I mean, people hating on Troy Weaver, you got to realize that the man wasn't allowed to do his job. So it's more to it than with, what we've seen. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. If you really follow the Pistons, you see that it wasn't all Troy Weaver's fault. I'm not saying he was perfect, but he was just average. He was mediocre. He wasn't the best, but for people to act like, oh, we were so horrible with him, like, no, we wasn't. We got Troy Weaver a season before Cade, then we had Cade. So then the season after we got Cade got injured, and then it was the Monty season. It was 2 years of rebuild and then 2 years of trying to see what Cade, if is legit. So a lot of people right now complaining about Troy Weaver. It's in the past. Stop complaining about it. It's not his fault. And also, even with Jaden Ivey, people are saying we better without him. No, we're not better without him. Like right now, we probably would have won this game with Jaden Ivey. It's just the fact that we got a star back. The team's clicking more. It's more to it. Like, and for one, Jaden Ivey was our second leading scorer before he went down. So if we had him, we'd probably be even better. Tim Hardaway Jr. probably been flipped. We got somebody, to help us out more. Tech probably be gone too. So a lot of that talk is just like, you guys got to stop being so emotional, so passionate. Just realize that this team is still growing. It's mistakes happening, but we're in a good shape.
No, I love it. It was good to see Cade and Troy. There was some vision of them. Like, there's obviously no love lost or anything. And I think Troy wasn't great, but I think as well, like, yeah, I think there was other things going on around him that probably didn't let him make all the decisions he wanted. And the injury luck of these young picks has been, like, honestly horrible. Like,
Yeah.
3 of the 4 top 5 picks have all missed 2/3 to an entire season. Like, Asar missed half a season, Ivy's missing half a season, Cade missed basically a whole season. Like, that's some horrible injury luck. I know the Ivy one's not under Troy, but yeah, I get why people are upset with Troy. I think saying he's the sole reason's wrong. I think it was honestly a mixture of ownership, front office, coaching clearly with Monty, who Troy didn't. That was not Troy's call. That was purely Tom Gore's. So yeah, it's a mixture. So yeah, I don't really have any hate for Troy. Since he's left now, I don't care. Like, as in, like, it doesn't bother me. So no, well-made points. I agree with you.
It's hard for me to hate anyway. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, I do. We're past that anyway. But I do see the stuff you're talking about. So thank you so much for joining, man. We're back now for the rest of the season with these streams and the playoffs. So hopefully have you on plenty more times, my man. So thank you.
I do want to say one more thing, but I'm gonna save it for next time.
Go for it. Okay. No, we'll have you on next time to say that.
yeah. It's probably late over there.
No, we're good, man. I've just got to jump off, but I appreciate you for waiting and staying up late. So thank you, man.
All right, thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll chat soon.
All right, see you,
bro.
All right, peace.
Bye. All right, guys, I do have to quickly go now, but thank you to everyone in the chat. Very active chat tonight. We've had some Thunder fans in here. Maybe some Thunder fans saw this on Twitter. That's what normally happens. And then the other team comes and jumps in the chat. But thank you to everyone for jumping in, offering your opinions. I appreciate all of you. Sorry, I don't have time to fully go through the comments like normal. I've just got to jump off, but appreciate you all as always. And we'll be back following the Pelicans game, which hopefully they get a big time win on the road. So until then, as always, go Pistons.